Hola, привет! I'm back! Well, that's at least how I keep imagining when somebody says something like this from Independence Day movie um, about aliens and alien invasion. So, I don't know, it's when somebody says I'm back, it's like from that. Anyway, how you've been? I hope you're gonna stick around with me and either stitch and listen to my lovely accented voice or watch me, you know. So, seems like we've been getting from a holiday to holiday. Um, if you notice, I changed a little bit the angle of my seating. So I'm already getting ready for Christmas seasons. And okay, let's start with the first holiday, Thanksgiving. I hope you all, those who celebrated Thanksgiving, had a great time, had plenty of turkey or tofu. If you don't eat any meat. One time I made a cake for some kind of occasion, and that was like a half sheet cake with a beach scene where I made the sand out of brown sugar, and I made the palm trees, and there was a turkey sitting, I think, in a bathing suit, and it held a sign that said "Eat tofu." So if I find, I think I've taken a picture of this long time ago. It might be still on my old computer, which is broken still. If I find a picture, I'll insert it. I just thought that was hilarious, you know. For those who don't eat meat, and you know, um, it's like a no, what's that? Some restaurant that I think cows hold a sign and say, "Eat more chicken," you know, with misspelling. So this is like turkey saying "eat tofu." Anyway, Thanksgiving, yeah. We were hosting our, well, my husband's side family for Thanksgiving. So it was his mom and the sister with the husband, son, and the dog. Um, they all live like 6 hours away around Lake Michigan in U.S. So we constantly um, switch between where we're gonna celebrate holidays. So like every second holiday, Thanksgiving would be in our house, or Christmas every second. So this way, um, we don't have to do every year, and we kind of know where holiday is gonna be, unless something else going on in a little bit more extended family. So we hosted this year, and we had a turkey in the fryer in the middle of the yard, in the backyard, and I had a big pot to boil the water. I set it on a stovetop, and we still have in this house from previous owners electric range stovetop. So this is like spiral one. And I guess the pot was too big or too heavy. I was starting boiling water, and I just suddenly smelled something funny. I turn around, and there is like a fire coming up from under the pot and from oven doors. It's like real fire. You know, it's not a lot, but still, it took forever to put it out. You know, luckily I was right there in the kitchen, so. So that was kind of adventure, you know. So I just decided I'm gonna take a smaller pot and a different heating area, and we'll just have a less of the mashed potatoes. I made the garlic mashed potatoes. Um, so yeah, we had the turkey and all the stuff on our big table here, and we stuffed ourselves like a turkey, and played some board games like Ticket to Ride. Yeah, so it was fun. And the next day, of course, it was Black Friday, and none of us want to go into the hell outside in the stores, especially in the morning. And it's like, I don't need to, you know, be beaten or hit by a car because I wanted to save a few dollars. You know, it's like If I really need something, I'll buy sometime. I know it's good, you know, to save. It's fun to save so you can buy more stuff, but it's it's not what the spirit is about, you know. First day you celebrate what you're thankful for, and the next day it's pretty much, maybe then you should say, I'm thankful for surviving the Black Friday, you know. So, but we did decided to go on the Best Buy store to check out some things later in evening when all us crazy people already were home. It still was pretty packed on the streets with all the sales, and part of the sales was the Joann's fabrics, as many of you know, with the threads and stuff, and I'll show you what I got later. Okay, so we already took all the Thanksgiving and fall decorations off and started doing Christmas. And last night we decorated with kids our tall Christmas tree, and I'll insert a picture of two of my youngest kids decorating it. It was fun. I did pretty much the top. I didn't want them to climb on that tall ladder. And strangely, we can't find our topper for a top of the tree, which was an angel. So my daughter suggested going in the store and searching and buying maybe a star this time. So we'll have to do that sometime this week. But yeah, just what's left is hanging big ornaments outside in the front yard on a tree. So when suddenly got very cold in the last few days, so we'll see. Maybe we'll be able to do that tomorrow if it's a few degrees at least warmer. It's still not freezing during the day, but for me, I don't like cold. So yeah, and so my house, I like Santa's. Like Christmas and Halloween are I love them pretty much equally, like a lot. And so my house been infested by different Santas, the figurines and stuff. So yeah. What else is new? Let's see. Last time I talked to you, it was about mid-November, so I'm back with November whips updates, and I worked on 3 projects. Okay, I'm looking at my timer where I did and when. So I started with Dawn by Bought It Threads. So that's what she's hopefully gonna look like, if not better. We always wanted to have something better. And I'm stitching this on the sparkly fabric that I dyed myself with the purplish and black color. So that's what I'm done. And I'll show you what I had just a tiny bit done last time. So so it's a sparkly. Hopefully you can see the color variation in the fabric, and I decided to do her skin over 1 and the rest of the body over 2, and that takes forever, but it looks good. So well, the last, what it looks, right, that's what we're going for, what's gonna be at the end. And if we spend many hours on it, then you know, you want to make sure it looks good, right? Oh, it's not the wine, it's mineral water. I like my mineral water. Let's see, so I worked on that for about 5 days. Next in line was a teddy bear, which I'm thinking of doing birth record. So this teddy bear is, okay, I think my printer was wacky because it printed like this, you know, lots of like light blue color. I think that color kind of got in stitching. I'll show you what it looked like last time, which had pretty much all, well, practical except few stitches, all of the head and a little bit on the body. I worked on that bear for heavily for 3 days. I think it was over the weekend. And this is what I got. So it's done except backstitch. So that's gonna take a while because, well, indeed you can compare to what it's, you know, so stitch colors are much duller than printed. What printed? My printer, I don't know which I like better. So if you see, there's going to be a lot of backstitching in all the fur and stuff, but it's not much left. So that's all I need to worry about is the backstitching, and I think it might be in a couple of different colors. So that's by Svetlana Sichkar. You can buy the patterns. I think I did a link in one of the previous videos. She just came out of another pattern. I don't think it's any of the teddy bears or bunnies, but like a drink with the cinnamon stick and some, I think, I don't remember exactly, but you can get that on the Facebook. I can put the link on it if I remember. I'm gonna write down the link. And the third project I worked for about 3 days. It was Bluebird by Busilla. It was a kit. This is what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so it's, I think it's my first Busilla kit. I've done some kind of teacher little mini thingy, but I don't remember if it's the same company or not. So it had a 14 count white Ada, which I don't like to stitch on, but I figured out I'll try again. So I'll put in a picture where it looked last time, which was, I don't think it was a lot. All 3 of those projects I started during Stitch Mania. So as I mentioned before, I'm trying to get as much of Stitch Mania projects finished before before this year ends, because next year I'm going to do a lot of different things. So, okay, so this is how much I've done this time. And surprise, I found some hoop in my old box. And I was surprised by the difference in colors. Let's see. Somehow, like a bird, blue colors in a bird looks different, like more bleak than in the stitching. So when I was sorting out the colors, I'm like, is that what it's supposed to look like, you know? And so you see, I've done pretty much all of the bird except the feet, and working on some of the flowers and leaves, and of course there's going to be back stitching done, but that's where I stopped at. And I made the needle minder because that's like a kid's, you know, supposed to be simple project. And so the kit came with all embroidered floss and the needle, which I changed because that was humongous head in it. And threads were um, all in a pile, I guess to either save themselves time or to have it at a lower price. Itchy, Flosstube nose. Ah. So I was very eager to start and wanted to separate all the floss. So I just pretty much, you're gonna laugh. I grabbed what I had in hand and punched the holes through it. You'll see in a second. I punched a hole through it, wrote down the symbol and the color that's supposed to be, and I took what's that? Like a ring like this through another hole, and I hang on my light because I was using light, so it has attachment for magnifier. If you remember, I bought it during big sale in Joann's some time ago. So that's, I didn't need to buy anything expensive. It's a paper towel tube. I cut it in half. So it's very cheaply done, but I figured out I'm not gonna keep it on here for a very long time, and all the threads went in here, so it was hanging like this, and I didn't need to buy any sorter. I'll move them later, but I was just too eager to work. So it works, you know. You don't have to spend $1 million or whatever currency you have to make yourself a thread holder. I'm working actually on making different types of thread holders that you can hook it on a pre-cut. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to look and stuff. So yeah, so that was a Bluebird by the Silicate. It's just, for me, I don't want to spend time doing a bunch of preparation. I just want to get down to it and stitch any moment I get. So, and my sleep is suffering. I don't get a lot of sleep because of this addicting hobby, as many of you probably already experienced. Let's see what. Oh, okay. Let's see what else I've done in the past few weeks. I mentioned about Lithuanian Christmas Eve and the Christmas Day tradition, like a lecture I did with the hands-on class for straw ornaments. I had about 30 people locally to come in, and to prepare for that, I was researching through my books, different books that I have, and online, and there's so many things I've learned that I didn't know. I guess when some traditions are almost dead and some not, and I was really surprised that there were a lot of like magical beliefs, you know, that it's like you would go to fortune teller, but that kind of stuff happens through the Christmas Eve, all kinds of magical stuff. So like at Halloween, you would think something magical happens, and animals might talk, and all kinds of things could happen. So this kind of stuff happens, you do on Christmas Eve. So maybe when that time comes, maybe I'll do a quick video and tell you some of those stories and show you. So we had some tasting of traditional Christmas Eve desserts and little snacks, kuchukai, which is made by using poppy seeds. And so if you're planning to get your blood tested, you probably wouldn't want to eat something like this because it's like a drug. Poppy seeds, if you have too much, you know, like tasting poppy seed rolls, they're good, but you have to know when to stop. So that was fun. And let's see. I wanted to ask you a question, guys. I'm not good with electronics. I think me and electricity overall have very strange relationship. Um, I don't know, maybe I produce too much static or something, that I would drive through the street and like maybe once a month, like light bulbs in the street would die right by me, you know, or I would flip a switch and light bulb would explode. So I'm sometimes even at the cash register when I go to check out, suddenly something would, you know, would stop working or would take forever. So kind of start to back up. Anyway, so the same thing with the computers. And if any of you've done where you film something and then you do audio separately, how do you do that? I want to do my next video in a couple different languages, and I don't want to film the same thing over and speak in a different language. So how do you film it and then you do audio recording? Is there a specific program? I have Windows 10, and I edit with that program that's loaded up with it. So if you have any advice how to do it, please put in the comments for me. I can't figure out myself. I'd rather do handiwork, stitching, and any kind of needlework or paper product work versus trying to figure out electronic stuff. Can I mention that actually you probably noticed if you're my subscriber or seen before, I changed my channel name. Since I mentioned I wanted to do something a little bit more than just talk about the cross stitch, I do some tutorials and show different things. I figured out might as well change it. And my YouTube channel name is the same as Facebook shop page name, Magic Pond Crafts. And right now I have only one item put in there because I'm still trying to figure out how to set up in the Facebook versus just page versus like a group. Some of you have a Facebook group where you have to join in order to see anything and buy like needle minders. But I didn't do that. I just made the regular like page for a shop type thing. I might even also do an Etsy. I don't know yet. So one thing that I have, I think I've showed you before, it was I'll tell you about the short version if I can. It's a wine glass holder with the neck strap. It was pretty popular at the local craft show, and I have a different lengths. It depends, you know, if you're a woman, if you have a bigger rack here, you need a longer thing, you know. So you hang it and you pour only halfway. From practice, I'm telling you. You pour only halfway, and when you want to sip, you kind of, when you hold it, you hold and twist, take a sip. So if you have a lipstick, it doesn't touch your clothes or skin, you know. So that was pretty popular. So I thought I would put that on my Facebook shop, and it comes in different colors. And I have a hard time to explaining in writing, so I need my husband's help to do better grammar and explanation. For me, it's easier to talk to person and explain and show and stuff like that. So, and there's more things gonna come in the shop. It was shown interest in the craft show that I participated a few weeks ago. In those Qsnap lap frames that I made. Oh crap, no, forgot. So, somebody has tutorial on that. Practically the same type thing. Oh, from and she just Pam Reed used to be that's a channel. Pam's Crafts maybe now. Gosh, can't remember now. Anyway, I did some little bit differently the lengths and sizes, and so I'm gonna offer I think that to stitchers. I have a pipe all scrubbed off all the writing so the fabric doesn't rub on that. I was measuring out, figure out the Qsnap clamps, how it goes, you know, what length it should go with, so it won't be too long. So expect that to come out sometime once I write the descriptions. So I mentioned I'll be doing my birthday / over 500 subscribers / year-end overall giveaway. I was thinking hard what to offer you, and at first I thought maybe one, you know, pile to do, but then it's like, well, if I split them up, it would be less, but more people would get a chance to get it. Even, you know, one something interesting is better than nothing, right? So since I'm gonna be doing 40 new starts plus some whips next year, you can guess why the number is interesting. Yeah, I'm getting old. Every second. So I figured out I would do 4 different giveaways. I was writing down which, so I wouldn't mix them up. Each of them gonna have what I'm showing plus I'll add few little surprises, so you wouldn't know exactly, you know, what everything would be in the package. And like you've heard probably before in other channels, there's some rules that apply. You have to be either over 18 or you have parents' permission. I would send anywhere in the world, and it's for subscribers. So since you guys stick with me and listen to my rambling, and hopefully you can understand my speech. So okay, let's get to it. I know you're excited. First one will be A to Z Chatelaine by Mac Thompson. Hold on a second, I'll pause. All right, check the phone. Looking for some kind of Omer companies. One company has been calling me for past 3 years trying to find some person. I'm like, that person doesn't live here, you know. Unless somebody else has exact same phone number than us, it's like, leave me alone, you know, it's not. So anyway, A to Z Chatelaine by Meg Thompson Chanel, and with Jeannie Thompson flower thread with even little signature here. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. It has different types of stitches included in it. I bought it years ago, I think at the Heart of Cross Stitch conventions that used to go. So there's all kinds of different stitches if you want to try. So that's that, and it has a little bit of the flower thread. Number 570, I guess. And it's made in USA, not in China. So that's one. Another one, chart, Donna Vermilion Jampa musical belt pull. So you can do this separately. You know, each separately you can do as a long one, or you can like position that way. But yeah, bought it probably at the same time years back. So this, and it will have also this from one of the magazines pre-kit, Hello Cookie Bear kit for a card with threads. cutie. Third one will be Rambling Rose with silver lining pattern, also bought at the same time. It's all using DMC threads. It was created in 1998. So that's what the design looks like. I thought I would be stitching a lot of flowers, and so I had a bunch of them. So that's number 3. And number 4, I think in the beginning of my videos I showed you one oriental pattern that was called Ginger Jar and I used the silk mori threads to make from my husband's aunt. So I have this book. If you like oriental designs, so this is by Teresa Lee collection. So I stitched this one, and I never used the silk thread before, so I don't know why. I just started washing it. Yeah, it bled. I complained about it to you guys. I got some good advice. I tried to bleach those few spots from a dark colors, not as bright, especially the black color kind of. I think it was black color. Yeah, there was a black color. So it was washed out, and I still didn't get a chance to fix the problem like at least one person was suggesting. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna be stitching any of them anymore. So yeah, you can have a chance to win this book. And I thought the next pattern has a sort of similar oriental style. It's from a fungus collection, Bride and the Shroom, designed by Terrence Nolan. So that would be the design. It's kind of cute. I got a couple little stains, I think from coffee a while back, you know. When I was organizing my stuff, I found this. So yeah, so this pattern is normal printed, but this book is old enough to have hand-drawn patterns. Like I'm going to show you a tiny bit. Okay, that's like J's. So it's all hand-drawn. So that's antique. Okay, so that's number 4. Each of them is gonna have this kind of plastic project bag that's big enough, you know. This is 8.5 by 11 paper, so it fits a good amount. I like using them. So it's gonna be, I'm not gonna tell you which color you'll get. So each of them will have that. If you want just one of them to try to win, write down in a comment which one, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or you can write down, you know, whichever numbers you want, or say all of them. You'll get a choice of, let me bring them up closer. As you know, I make papercraft products from using Stampin' Up! Products since I'm a demonstrator. So unless you say that you don't want any of them, write down that what you would like. I made those little mini boxes that you can put, you know, little mini gift, stuffed money, jewelry, or mini note, or little stitch project or thread if you're giving to somebody or just want to have it as a decoration. So you mention if you want to go for any of those giveaway items, which box you would like to get. Choose one. First one will be a penguin. So they all going to be shaped like this. So there's a cutie penguin box, and they all open up pretty much. There's like this. You can have one side. I probably will be shipping you all flat. Okay, so this is how you grab it, and you just stick it through those slots. Very easy to do, so I just wouldn't want that to rip. So number one of the choices will be penguin. Another choice will be Mary Mouse. So with a sparkling little hat, cutie mousy. Then I don't know, some might say it's a bride, some say it's just an elegant lady, and it has embossed style on the two sides. You see the leaves and the flowers, so front and back. Okay, with little pearl necklace. So there's this choice, and this could be for like a groom or prom, something like this too. I know one lady in a craft show bought for her son to put his proposal ring to his girlfriend. So she thought that was a good idea to give it. And the last choice to say, it would be made out of the vellum. So it's silver embossed. So what you do, you take those LED battery candles, you put inside, turn on, and it flickers through all those windows. So that's another choice. Plus, I'm gonna have a few other surprises put in there, so you won't know exactly everything that you'll be getting. So you might just mention one of your favorite colors, or two, if you like. So just mention that. Yeah. So don't forget. You write down if you want a chance for all of them or specific ones, the choices of those paper boxes, or that you don't want any, and one or two of your favorite colors. So I'll keep this giveaway open till mid-December, so you have about a couple weeks to do that. I think until the next video I'll do, yeah, so I'll give you just a couple weeks, so don't forget to write it down. And okay, so that's done with the giveaway. Okay, so my precious pretties, as I call it. I don't like to call it haul because I'm not hauling them. I'm being delivered, or I pick them or choose them, the items. I didn't do much since I'm pretty much kitting up for my next year many new starts with some more webs to do. And I don't know, would it be considered as what do you call it, stitch from stash? Probably, because I already kitted up more than 40, and they're all different sizes, as I mentioned before. Some will be big ones, like I have an inner designs. Some will be smaller. So, before I get to my pretties, what I'm planning to do next, since I stopped with the bird. Even before that, backtrack. One of you was asking, who is the designer of a friend is like a rare book pattern that I stitched for my friend. Still haven't managed to frame it yet and send it. It was from the Cross Stitcher magazine, June 1995. That's what it looks like, and it's on the front cover. And it was stitched on 32 count fabric that I dyed myself. And the designer is Linda Gordanier-Jari, I guess. Right here. Yeah, so yeah, that's a designer, and that's where you can find it. You might be able to find it somewhere else. Maybe it has a loose pattern to buy, or you can search for this Cross Stitcher magazine. I would send it to you, but I think I'm gonna stitch a couple more products from this magazine. So yeah, okay, that's done. Question answered. I'm thinking I have only a few more whips left from Stitch Mania. So I don't know which one I'm gonna start first, but anyway, one of them is gonna be another one by Svetlana Sichkar. I think at least that's how you accent her name, not Sichkar, but Sichkar. It's a bird with a tulip. It's kind of springy pattern. Maybe I'll finish it by spring, because I have done some work on this. Like that. So I might work on this now, starting today, or I might work, which I haven't touched in a while, this couple in one color. Usually I take that to like orthodontist office when I wait for my son to have it done, and I still haven't a Qsnap, and you know, the rest of the body is done. It still needs to do the pot. So pot here and the tree. There's still some work to be done. Oh, we sing one song. There's work to be done. There's the price to be won. Anyway, that's gonna be in our first a cappella barbershop competition. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be one of those two to start, and then the next one. And I might probably, as the third one, I'll grab one of the other ones, maybe butterfly with the moon or sun. I don't know. It just depends what I feel like doing it. So, my precious pretties. I did a few shopping online. I finally bit the bullet and bought, well, ordered. I still don't have it yet. I ordered a few days ago. Chatelaine. Well, I have a pattern. I bought all accessories and all the threads and beads that it needs to be from European Cross Stitch. In beginning I couldn't find it because there the name is different than what the mandala, big mandala, Baltic Sea mandala is called. So I sent her an email and she said, well, is that what you're looking for, you know? So it's slightly different name called. So if you don't see the accessory pack in there, don't fret, you know, just ask her email and she'll answer, at least like she did to me, fairly fast. So yeah, I'll be waiting that. I don't know if I'm gonna start it next year, maybe year after. I don't want to overwhelm. I want to do all of them, you know, at the same time. It's like lay out and do one stitch. Anyway, I saw this somewhere and I was curious, so I bought it through Amazon. Glue sticks that are scented, pumpkin pie. Even without opening the bag, the bag smells delicious. I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like to eat pumpkins, maybe pumpkin seeds, but this smells good like a fall. So if you're planning to, you know, glue something small that's fall season looking, like a leaves or something, you glue it with this and probably it will smell delicious for a long time. I haven't tried yet, But I guess maybe if you scratch the glue later on, it might, you know, like those scented rub-ons. Ah, that smells delicious. Good. Now I want some dessert pie. I think I still have apple pie. And while Joann's was having that Black Friday weekend sale for DMC thread and all kinds of stuff, so I went and I got some like 200, yeah, for at least one hate project and some more I was refilling, and there's some there's some threads that were still missing from some of the keeping up projects that I'm planning to do, and I don't remember seeing it before, at least in my Joann store. It might have probably been some in yours, because I noticed that some of you still have cross stitch patterns, not just thread, in your Michael stores. So maybe different stores or probably even countries have different stuff that they carry. My Michaels carry only fabric. I mean, phew, fabric. No, it would be good at it to carry fabric. Only DMC thread. So anyway, Joann's had this in cross stitch aisle. So I used the 50% off coupon, and it's a Kranic silk threads, silk mori threads. They all only half a skein, but it's 25 of them. So original price was like $39.99 before tax. That still annoys me. You know, in Europe, at least in Lithuania, there's, you know, what's written, that's what you exactly pay. But here, I guess, depends from a state, because the state and towns and counties could have a different types of taxes numbers. So anyway, it has all of those low. See, it's not a lot, but I figured out if I'm gonna be stitching, sometimes I need less than half to, you know, skein to use. So I have a collection. It came with a little chart. I think somebody was planning to stitch this. United in Love. And what was kind of cool that it was a bunch of papers inside. It had a little pamphlet with the color chart that talks about silk mori, silk serica, which is filament silk, 3-ply, and silk bella, which is also filament silk 3-ply, but it's much thinner. So so it has some samples and explanations. I thought if you're planning to use the silk thread from Kranic at least, that's a cool idea, and they have all you know, things like that on the side. And if some patterns, like my base had written DMC, but I was using the silk first time, yeah, don't wash that kind of silk. But this one has all the conversion things from DMC to Mori and Anchor to Mori. All of that info. So that's a good idea to keep if you're planning to convert some patterns, maybe from silk Mori to DMC or Anchor. That would be useful. Although I've seen that some conversions are just so wacky and so off kilt. I think that's a saying that, yeah, you might want to look yourself, but you might try it, right? Oh, if you're wondering, this, I did not stitch this. This one was done by my sister-in-law, given to my husband years before I met him. So, so yeah. She stitched that, and it's hanging in our dining room. I got, I think also from Jan's using coupon. I decided to try sometime this Twilight Silhouette by Dimensions. I thought that's kind of nice. My daughter still likes Tinkerbell and Fairies, so I might do this. It has, I haven't decided if I'm gonna use this 14 count navy Ada or if I'm gonna change it to like 28 count. I haven't decided yet. So I got that. And then at last weekend, yeah, Thanksgiving weekend, um, local exposition hall had like a craft show. I've never been in that place, so I went to check it out, and I saw a couple cute items that I got. There was the author Dan Killeen, that he's from St. Louis, and he has those books published, and you know, cute books, and they like these events. This is St. Louis Arch. You've probably seen in some of the movies that made in America. So all kinds of things happening in St. Louis area, and he was addressing, to whomever wanted, and he drew a little cartoonish character of my daughter without seeing her picture. So it's gonna be Christmas surprise gift. And as a stitcher, I was so excited. I was walking by one of the tables in that show, and I saw one lady, dressed super colorful with those big wings put on, and she had all kinds of drawing prints for sale at her table. So I stopped by and I started looking at those drawings. It's like, man, that would be cool to stitch. I wonder if it's like I've seen style somewhere, but I couldn't remember. And I started talking to her. I'm like, have you had your those drawings, paintings ever converted? I do the cross stitching, and there's this Heaven and Earth website that has amazing things. And she said, yeah, I have some of the paintings there. I'm like, what? That's why it looks familiar, So her name is Joan Marie, and I'll put her picture with me that I asked some bystander, walking bystander. I don't know why it's a standard. Lady was walking by, I asked her to take a picture quickly. It's not a great picture, but still, yeah, so I saw first thing in her, it's like, was it from My Little Pony? There's one pony that's colorful, very colorful, just like her dress, but she was so bubbly and full of energy, and so I had a hard time picking out. I wanted some prints. I'm like, well, I started looking with her on the phone. She couldn't remember which exactly designs she had. Michelle from Heaven and Earth Designs convert in the patterns. So then I came home and I looked, and she has like 35 to choose from, a few of them minis. And actually, I got 3 of them, and all 3 are made into patterns. And she said Michelle was picking like 4 more at the same time now. So there was very nice a white tiger that she was like out of the prints to sell. It was very popular. So I don't know if Michelle's gonna pick that up or not. But anyway, so it all came. You could choose different size, but this is called Destiny. It's like, I don't know, I don't have any Native American white blood, but this feels like, that style, the wind and spirits, and in each of these she had a little information about herself with a picture and stuff on the website. So yeah, that's a Destiny. Then she had a few different versions of this one, but I liked this. This is color pencil drawing. It's called Spirit Protector. So she had a different one that had more modern, like a blobs of color and brighter colors bursting out, and I think both sides. And but I like this version more. Just, I don't know, different colored eyes. It's just so cool. So that's, and this one, it's called Soaring Free 2 with this, wait, butterfly. So all her prints, you know, were signed by her, and it's just the play with the colors is beautiful. I thought so. And she used, you know, majority of all her drawings were in the color pencils. You could tell that there were a few that, only few that were different. So anyway, yeah, I was surprised that I got all three of them. That's already as a pattern. So I'm like, that might be interesting maybe to stitch and hang her something like this next to cross stitch pattern. This way I would have a great comparison. And even her business cards are very colorful. Which way? So it's like she's in this one, this way, and both sides are done. I got a few because it's like so cool. And she has a pattern, cross stitch pattern with this lady. And she has like, anybody could just come by and get a free card. So I was buying a few, so she said grab a couple more few of them. So it has what she had made, the writing, and on the back too. So I liked it, and I got a couple of these. And she had also this one. I think it's also patterned on the Heavener design. And I almost bought this eagle as a print too. But yeah, it's amazing. So that was her first time going in this craft show, so I'm hoping she'll come next time. And next year, if I'm stitching one of her things, I'll bring it to her and show it to her. So, all right, I've been babbling for almost an hour. Oh, so yeah, I'll see you next in a couple of weeks, maybe 14, 15, 16, probably. Depends how much time I have. And it's hard to get all together and decide to talk in front of a camera. For me, it's much easier to see the person and have conversations like that. Yeah, so. All right, I think that's it. I've talked your ears long enough. Hopefully did plenty stitching. So if you missed seeing something, you can always go backwards and look at the stuff that I was showing to you. So if you have any questions, comment below. If you wanna have a chance at giveaway, comment below with the stuff that I said, with the numbers and things. And if you just wanna say hi, do that. Ooh, I almost forgot. I've been watching a lot of the newbies channels. So I wanted to do a quick shout out. I thought they were kind of cute. I know some of the people mentioned the ones that have been doing channels for a while, and so I didn't want to mention them, but those that have just a fewer subscribers and just started. So there was this Janice called, her channel is Northern Stitcher, and she's from Alaska, and she's doing a year of whips. There's some like 20-year-old whips, and that she was the first one I watched since last time, and I think she just became great grandma, and she had the hair bun in her head. Apparently, if I think it's her, that's her like a tradition for great grandkid. So it was kind of cute, you know. She's very energetic, you know, for great grandma. Oh, geez, I hope I can be that age and see my great grandkids and have that energy and still stitch great stuff. So yeah, check her out. There's a Sarah from Little Snips. She doesn't like to be in front of the camera, and she just started her YouTube channel November 1st, so it's exactly 1 month ago. Um, let's see. She does fiber dyeing. She wrote actually several books, so you might check that out. And she uses only hoops, apparently. Well, that might change. We all change once we see Flosstubers and get empowered, try different things and stuff. So that's Sarah from Little Snips. And she's doing Heaven and Earth Dragonaut. So that's, I think it's for her husband, who he hasn't figured out it yet. There's a Sylvia channel, Beck Island or Beck is Land. I don't know. She joined just a few weeks ago, so she's fairly new doing a Flosstube, and she likes all things small, you know, nothing like Heaven and Earth, giant size, and she was showing different pink cushions. Yeah, as you can see, I have a short list comparatively. I've been watching since they were not that old. It doesn't take very long to go through all of them, you know, since there's only so few videos they posted. There's the Maureen Quinnell from Scotland. Her first video in the beginning of August, and she was doing Olympic style. So she was going through all the stuff for it. And then you probably heard of Misadventures of Two Serious Stitchers with Joe and Stitch Penelope. So if you wanna laugh your ears off or butt off, you know, and listen to them joke and talk about different stuff and about slushies and gatherings, check them out. Mel at Mel Stitchy Musings. She started November 7th, her first video. She's from Virginia, US. And so she likes to do summer stuff in winter and winter stuff in summer. So we have that saying, you know, you prepare your sleigh in the summertime. So she has kind of neat, nice stuff going on there. Check her out. And Dina Making a Life Count. She started in July, and she's from Georgia, US. So she has good stuff there, and found one male. I think he was mentioned somewhere else also. We don't have a lot of males that are brave enough to be in front of a camera and say, "Hey, I do the cross stitch," just like he said. Ginger Gerald Stitcher. So he was doing planets, which I guess includes Pluto as a planet, those kind of black Ada. He's not afraid to try out different fabrics and flosses. He's just doing since July only. Let's see, he's gonna do Gloriana Silk, Reflections of New York. So he's not afraid to try different things. He says he's kind of nervous and in front of a camera, but I wouldn't be able. I wasn't able to say that he was like that. So yeah. So those, check them out. Kind of interesting to see, and I'm sure they would be happy to get new viewers or even subscribers. If you can, subscribe, because why not? You know, the more the merrier. We're all a very happy family. So. Okay, so I think that's it. It's over an hour. I didn't want to do that long. Jeez. Thank you all for watching, listening to me ramble bamble. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrated. I hope you had good weather. No sickness bugs attached to you, or if attached, it's just because you wanted to stay at home and stitch, like some of us might be wanted to do. And I hope that you enjoy your stitching, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Okay, have a good time. Bye-bye.